Okay, hello everyone, I'm Tom Bernardus, Senior Character Designer at Rovio Stockholm, and today, guess what? We're gonna draw a melody. So, are you ready? I'm ready, so let's dive in. So to draw melody, or any kind of character actually, you need to think with basic shapes. So for melody, it's basically an oval shape. Think of an egg that it's on this position, right? And don't worry about the lines. We don't want to get the lines too clean. We're gonna clean the lines later. As long as you get this shape correctly, that's the most important thing right now. So we have this oval shape now, and we're gonna just accentuate this corners here. So this shape is kind of like an American football, I'll say. So you have, it's very subtle. We don't want to make her cheeks too pointy, but we definitely want to make a little mark here, right? All right. So it's really important when you're drawing a character that you make some lines to guide you throughout the whole process. So we're gonna make one straight line here and one horizontal line. Those are gonna be our guidelines for all the drawing. So don't forget those lines. So let's start with the eye. The eye, again, is just an oval shape again. And she has quite big eyes. It's the bigger eye of all Angry Birds. It's about this size. And for the second eye, remember the guidelines we have. See the difference between the space between this middle line and the corner of the eye here? We're gonna make kind of the same distance, just a little shorter on this eye, and we're gonna repeat the same shape. But this one, it's gonna be a little bit more deformed because we're going around the shape, around this oval shape of her hair. Of her head. So here you go. And also it's a little bit shorter, this eye, because of the perspective. One nice detail to think about is that this pointy area of this oval shape is always pointing towards the middle here, right? And now the beak. We're starting with the basic shapes, right? So for the beak, we're gonna start from the middle point here where these two lines intersect, and I'm gonna draw an arc. Don't worry if it covers the eye, because this is actually good. It's giving you more depth. And on the other side, we're gonna make a little arc, like this. And now we're gonna give her a big smile. It's just a big line here, touching the base of this eye. And for the smile, make this a little curve here. Don't make it too pointy. We're gonna make a huge S line. It's very subtle, but it's basically an S line like this, right? So she has a smile already. We're gonna draw this other part of the beak, right? And what about the lower part of her beak? Well, if you think about this measure here, under her beak and the bottom of her belly, halfway there will be sort of like here, right? But I don't like to divide things too evenly, to halves. So it's better if you cut this a little bit on top of that halfway of that measure. And her jaw, it's another arc, but this one is a bit pointy here. So it's all about those nice details when you're drawing a character, right? All right, we're almost there. We can actually see a little bit of her already, right? So let's draw the eyelids. And this is quite important. That's where all the expression of the character is, in the eyes and later in the eyebrows. We're gonna tackle that later. And Melody has this personality. When I was concepting her from the start, I was thinking of a jazz singer. So she has this vibe, this attitude that is really cool. So she has this blasé look. And again, as you can see, the halfway point of this whole eye will be kind of like here, and I'm gonna cut a little bit down. So kind of like here will be the halfway, right? And don't forget to make a little curve on these eyelashes to show the volume of her eye. Great. And now, what we're gonna do is draw the pupils. No big deal. I'm gonna make her looking to us, because that's really engaging. All right, so let's draw the eyebrows. And here's a cool expression that is very unique for Melody. And one tip that I can share with you guys about eyebrows and expressions, if you can, it's always good to follow the movement of the eye. So you see there's this movement of the eye, and I'm just following this movement here with the eyebrows. And here's gonna be the same. We're just following the same movement on the other side. Okay. So what it's missing now, her hair, the feathers on top of her head. So she has 3 feathers, and it's divided into medium, big, and small. And we're gonna start with medium, right here in the back. Or actually, it's small, big, and medium. This is the big feather, so you can really exaggerate that shape. So we have a small one, a big one, and then the medium, which is the top one. It's always covering her forehead. And don't worry about the eyebrow covering. I'm actually gonna move this eyebrow a little bit here. Yes, so we have a little bit more space there. It's okay to make mistakes, you can see, right? That's totally fine. If you're drawing this on paper, you just need to erase that and trace it over. Okay, and inside the feather, we're gonna draw another feather, another smaller feather. It's just gonna follow the same shape. All right, we're almost there. So for her tail, usually an angry bird, they usually have this tail that it's basically a form like this, and it's divided into 3 parts. Most of the birds have this tail, but Melody is a little bit different. So we're gonna have one long and thin feather and one short, thicker feather here. Now we're only missing 2 parts. We're gonna draw her belly. Be careful to not touch the lower jaw, because we don't want to create any tangents in the drawing. And we're gonna add those 2 details, the little feathers coming out. One on each side of this mark you have in the middle of the body. And of course, last but not least, her little charm here. Right? And there you go, that's Melody. So now what we're gonna do, I'm working on Photoshop here. And what I'm gonna do is put this layer in a lower opacity, and I'm gonna clean this drawing on top with a more refined line and a bit more heavy. If you're drawing this on paper, you can just rub it in with a razor. Be careful, don't do it too much. We still wanna be able to see the drawing. And you can just trace it on top of that with a bit more of a heavy hand on it. So let's do it. So I hope you guys like it. I hope you guys found this video useful. And please don't forget to comment down below your melody. I'm crazy to see what you guys come up with. So thank you. Until next time. See you then.
Die!